I'd like to talk about 3 steps to happiness and tranquility that we learn out from Chanukah. Chanukah and Purim are the only 2 holidays that will be celebrated in the world to come as well. That's why they have no havdalah, there's no work, there's no end to it. It's too important, it needs to continue. There's a big difference between the 2 though. On Purim, we have a grogger that makes noise, and we hold it from the bottom and we spin it. On Chanukah, we have a dreidel that we hold from the top and we're barely holding on. Because on Purim, we cause the effect. We repented. So we're holding from below. We caused God from above to bring down blessing. But on Chanukah, we were integrated with the Greeks. We were barely holding on. Hashem from above gave us all the blessing in the world. Why celebrate it then? That's number 1, the happiness. It's because Hashem loves us so much that He gives us free gifts, like a parent who loves their child and wants to give them no matter what. So that's worth celebrating. Number 2, on Purim, we hold our grogger and we spin it. As soon as we stop spinning, the noise stops. We're in control. The dreidel, we spin it and it drops where it drops. Divine providence. That's secret number 2. We're not in control. Hashem is in control. Hashem is in control of everything in our lives. And it's not coincidental that Chanukah falls out in the darkest of the winter, the darkest night, the coldest time. Hashem is in control. Take all the negativity, throw it to Hashem. It's not your problem. Hashem will deal with it. Hashem runs our lives. That's secret number 2 and step number 2 to success and tranquility. And number 3 is peace. Because who lights the menorah? It's Aaron. Aaron represents peace. He wore on his breastplate, right over his heart, the stones to all of the 12 tribes. Aaron is the one that lights the menorah. He brought peace between couples. And of course, the fire itself is a unifier. Anything you throw into a fire becomes one. When somebody sees a fire, they want to get close to it. Campfires. As a matter of fact, when you have the capability to do one mitzvah, whether Kiddush or candles and Shabbos, you do candles, the Talmud says, because it brings peace. Again, the 3 steps to success. Peace. God is so proud when we're so kind and loving to one another, when we're in unity and achdus. Number 2, realize He governs the world and controls everything. Don't stress. And number 1, realize He is a loving Father who will protect us no matter what. Have a beautiful day.
Most people, when they think about Hanukkah, talk about the miracle of the little jug of oil lasting for 8 days. There's so much more to the Hanukkah story. The miracle of Hanukkah isn't just that the oil lasted for 8 days. One incredible miracle was that there were Jews at all. During the time of the Hanukkah story, the vast majority of Jews chose to assimilate and become Hellenist. And who could blame them? Because observing Judaism and practicing Jewish life was punishable by death. What would you do if that happened to you, God forbid? It's a terrible choice that they were forced to make. But you know what's an absolute miracle? That some Jews chose to stay Jewish. Some Jews chose to grab hold of the chain that their parents had passed down to them and their parents had passed down to them. And they said, you know what? I want to continue to be Jewish. I want to continue to live as a Jew. And I am never going to let go of that chain. In fact, I'm going to fight for it. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to pass that chain on down to my children and, God willing, to their children. So at the end of the Hanukkah story, there was a terrible war. The Jews had to take up arms and really defend themselves against, as we know, the huge Greek army. And you know what? We all know. They succeeded. They won. And after everything they had been through, war, destruction, the loss of loved ones, so much challenge, they said, you know what? We have to find oil. And that is the miracle of the Jewish spirit, of the Jewish soul, that no matter how bad things look, even though their great temple was in ruins, all the jugs had been smashed, the Jews set out to go find more light, because that's what Jews do in a dark world. After pain, after destruction, they say, how can we bring more light into the world? Not only that, but we must never give up on the future. We have to keep the flame of Judaism alive for our children and their children. Our people have been through so much in world history, and we're also facing a great assimilation. It's not easy to be Jewish, to be different now. And yet, the miracle of the Jewish people is the miracle of all of you. That you have continued and said, no matter what, we will never let the light go out. Because that flame of the Jewish soul, that's an eternal flame. We have one in all of our synagogues. And what does that signify? We will never give up hope. My friends, do not give up hope. Keep searching, keep striving, keep aiming high, because the eternal light of the Jewish soul is within you, and it's within me, and it's within our children, and our job is to bring that out into the world. Thank you so much for being part of the Aish Chaim family, for refusing to let the light of Judaism go out for Jews all across Philadelphia. Without you, there would be no light.
We find a number of time delays concerning Chanukah that seem to be unusual. I'll give you a couple examples. One is that the sages did not declare Chanukah to be a national holiday until a year later, until the year passed of the miracle. Why that delay of a year? Another example, they had to wait 8 days till they got new olives and oil to be used in the menorah. They didn't know that the vial of oil they found would last for 8 days. So they had to wait till new olives came and they pressed them and got new pure oil. It was an 8-day delay in getting the new oil. And finally, Chanukah, we know, means that the Jewish fighters rested on the 25th day of Kislev, Chaf Hei Kislev, Chanukah. But it's also reminiscent of an event that took place many, many centuries before, that when the Jews finished the Mishkan, the tabernacle in the desert, they finished making it on Chaf Hei Kislev, the same exact day as Chanukah. Chanukah, they dedicated the temple on the 25th. But what's ironic is they didn't put it up yet and use it until Rosh Chodesh Nisan, which is a couple months later. Why the time delay? I heard a thought from Ram Chaim Foyer Shlita, who explained like this. He says, it's interesting, you look at the sun, well, don't look at the sun, but we know the sun is pretty far away. I think it's 92 million miles away. And it takes sunlight to get to the earth, it takes 8 minutes. For that light to come to the earth, 8 minutes long. And what's unusual is that the speed of the sunlight travels at 186 million miles per second. That's awfully fast. Why did God make it where it would take 8 minutes to get to us, the light? Why not just make the speed of light quicker? Make it 225 million miles a second, and we'd get it right away. And the answer, he said, was to teach us a lesson that in life we see all kinds of puzzling things. Look, the period we're in now, this almost a year of darkness, of death, illness, loss of employment, anxiety. How do we understand these kind of things? So he said that we need time. We need time for light to be shed on the situation at hand. We need the gift of time. Sometimes we don't know why things happen. It may take 8 days, it may take 8 minutes, it may take 8 hours, it may take 8 months, it may take a lifetime. It may not even then. That we don't know why things happen. Look, we're not God. But we do know, we do have trust that God is the Almighty. He's the master puppeteer. We are totally in debt to Him. He runs the show. But we have to be humble and realize that light takes time. And when we light the Chanukah menorah on Chanukah, we look at those beautiful flickering lights. These thoughts perhaps can give us some support, some strength, that in life, light may go slow. So we have to be patient, have savlanis, and realize, be secure, be happy, be strong, knowing that the Almighty is watching over us, who loves us more than we love our own children. So with these thoughts, may all of us have a happy Chanukah. Thank you for listening.